Conference, I've always been fully in favour of this motion. I hadn't intended to speak, though. But sometimes, during a debate, somebody says something that gets to you so you feel you have to respond. And that conference was the speaker who compared protesting outside abortion clinics to protesting against the Iraq war. Now, all those years ago, I turned up on Glasgow Green in the freezing cold with my toddler wrapped up in her in the pushchair, waving a dove. That's not the same thing as standing outside a place where somebody is going through the worst experience of their life. And it's interesting that the people who have been saying that that's okay have all been men. Now, there have been some very good men. There have been some very good men who have spoken against that point of view, but I think that's a very salient point. So it's not an infringement of right. I mean, when we're talking about the right to protest, we all agree that is something that is a fundamental part of a liberal society. But the very act of being outside an abortion clinic, protesting against those women going in, is an act of bullying and harassment. We Liberals are here to stand up against people being bullied and harassed, and we should do that unequivocally. And just as a thought, when people turned up outside Jacob Rees-Mogg's home the other day and started shouting, telling his children that their daddy was a horrible person, that was totally out of order. So is turning up outside anybody's house. And that is something that we should also stand against. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this idea that decriminalisation means that people won't take it seriously. I have supported people through the trauma of making those sorts of decisions. I see what they go through. Katie so movingly described what she went through. Nobody goes through this lightly. And I think that what all this policy is saying is that what we shouldn't do is subject these people to potentially life imprisonment. That's what decriminalisation is about. So I ask you to support the motion, absolutely, and to keep the lines about buffer zones in. Thank you.